But let's delve into mountain training and mountain skills and all this a little bit deeper. So in Ireland, your mountain skills, your mountain leader, your mountain training, your rock climbing award, all this is managed by Mountaineering Ireland, which is the NGB, the national governing body for climbing, hill walkers, mountaineering in Ireland. And there are several different qualifications, pathways that you can take depending on what you're looking for. There's a whole rock climbing pathway that I'm not going to talk about in this video today because not particularly applicable to what I'm doing and to what we're talking about. What we're going to focus on is the walking pathway. So in my eyes, the first step in the whole walking pathway is your mountain skills, because this is a personal skill development course. Everything else in the walking qualification training pathway is in a leadership role where you are enabling others to get outside, or you're teaching or facilitating. You're working with groups or people in general, whereas the mountain skills is a personal skill course. And you can go to your Mountain Skills 1 and have never picked up a paper map, never held a compass before. This is the level that you go into when you just want to get started. And now, if you have used a map and compass, it's still a great place to start because you don't know what you don't know. And so your Mountain Skills 1 literally starts you off with the very basics. Here's a mountain, here's the mountain on the map. How can we corroborate that this is the mountain, that this mountain in front of us is what we're seeing on the map? And then your Mountain Skills 2 involves more navigation on your part, so you have to lead different navigational legs. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're at the start of a path or route of a mountain, and your provider will say, okay, here we are, take me to this point on the map. And so you have to guide the rest of the group with the facilitator there, making sure that you have the help that you need to get the group to the next point. And so in your Mountain Skills 2, you do that throughout the day and then into the night. So you look at the skills for night navigation, and it's all about getting comfortable on the hills.
We're on our Mountain Skills 2. We're doing this by the Wicklow. It's pretty cool.
And I think Carl and I really enjoyed the Mountain Skills program because we both did both training blocks. Because, as I said a few minutes ago, you don't know what you don't know. So for us, it was really good to have the corroboration of that our map reading was right, but we got extra knowledge in terms of compass work and all this kind of stuff, and just got really familiar and comfortable using it. For every qualification, there is a consolidation period. So after you've done your Mountain Skills 1 and 2, you then have to log at least 14 hikes, and these have to be what they call quality mountain days. So there's a definition for a quality mountain day. For your Mountain Skills assessment, I'm pretty sure it is that you are out in the mountains for a minimum of 4 hours. You are off of waymarked paths or trails, and that you are using the skills that you learned in your Mountain Skills courses. So you don't have to go on the longest hike. Distance-wise, you could spend 5 hours across your local hill practicing your pacing and practicing your micro-navigation. So you're picking really, really small features on the map and trying to get there as directly as possible using the skills that you've learned. Another factor for the Quality Mountain Days is that you can't go out and do the same route again and again. You have to be going to new places, learning new things. So it's a minimum of 14 hikes, and really, if you can do more and practice more skills, the better your Mountain Skills assessment is going to go. And it's also great to go out and practice your night navigation. So while you might go out and practice your night navigation for 2 hours, that might not meet the quality mountain day time-wise, but they really recommend that you still add it to your logbook as just a regular mountain day, just to show that you were going out at night and practicing those techniques as well. In the run-up to my own assessment, I did a few extra days making sure that everything just felt second nature, so that in the moment when I was nervous, I wouldn't overthink it or forget how to do something that I know how to do. The majority of the mountain skills assessments that I run in Ireland are kind of run from, let's say, September through to April, May. They're not run during the summer months because it's just kind of impossible to get the dark night conditions that you need for the assessment. Even for us, doing it in the second half of April, we started late on the Saturday. We started at 2:30 in the afternoon because we knew we were going to be up on the mountain until anywhere between midnight and 2 o'clock in the morning, depending on how all of our navigation legs went. We got off the mountain, I think, at like 10 to 1, 5 to 1 in the morning, and I had booked a B&B exactly where our start and end point was. So I was in the B&B by 1:05, and I was in bed by 1:30. I will admit that the adrenaline was still going, so I didn't fall asleep until at least 2. And of course, being in the Wicklow Mountains, everybody else staying in the B&B was also there for hiking, but on a completely different time scale to me. So they were all getting up at 5 a.m. So I persevered to sleep through them, but yeah, it is what it is. That just happens.
This is going to be the quickest thing ever because it's actually day 2 and I am about to head out for the second half of the assessment. I was we finished at 1 last night. I was so wrecked. Couldn't record in the B&B because everyone was asleep and it was so silent. And then this morning I stayed in bed as long as possible to catch up on sleep. It's 10:30 and so here we go.
Because the first day of your mountain skill assessment is so long, the second day is a lot shorter, and it focuses on steep ground navigation and some other kind of smaller bits and pieces.
Yeah, that's okay. I passed. It was so good and I got really good feedback as well. So I've now passed the mountain skills assessment. I really enjoyed the 2 days. I feel like while it was an assessment, it was also a learning opportunity because there's so much space and interpretation for your mountain skills. And so different providers teach things different ways. And so I think the assessment was also a really wonderful kind of like, I'm not going to say conglomeration, but making sure that we all had the same baseline. And so, yeah, reviewing things in different ways. And it was just really, really good. I'm so happy. So next step in the mountain journey is mountain leader. And in Ireland that's split into 2 training sessions, but they don't run until next September, which is fine. So next September I'll book into my mountain leader 1. But anyway, that's way into the future. I'm really, really, really excited and I'm really grateful. And Ambrose Flynn, hikingclimb.ie, was really, really great. He was the assessor for the 2 days and he was great. I feel like he was like really good assessor and really good like teaching through assessing as well. Yeah. Now for my 3-hour drive or so back to the northwest. But what an incredible 2 days in Wicklow. Yeah.
There is one part of the assessment that I don't have yet done that I haven't mentioned so far, and that is my REC 3 first aid course. So REC 3 stands for Remote Emergency Care, level 3, and this is a first aid course designed for when you're out in the mountains, or as it says in the tin, remote emergency care. So you can do your mountain skills assessment without having done your REC 3, but you will need your REC 3 cert to actually fully complete your mountain skills assessment. So while I passed the initial assessment, my results are still pending officially until I submit my REC 3 cert. Now I have that 2-day first aid course booked in about 2 weeks' time. So once I complete that 2-day course, I can submit my cert, and I will then get the box completely ticked. And so where do I go from here? I am now looking at the leader qualification side of the mountain training framework. And I'm actually going to be doing 2 different routes this year. First off, for any keen viewers, you might remember that last year I did my Lowland leader training, almost exactly a year ago actually. I got to do this training for free down in West Cork with Julie Reeves as part of Rosanna Purcell's Great Outdoors initiative, looking to get more women into leadership roles in the outdoors. So this was a 2-day training course designed to teach you about bringing groups out in lowlands, and the lowlands definition is kind of tracks and trails, more accessible than, let's say, our mountain summits. It's a qualification for bringing people on defined routes as opposed to open hillside. The consolidation period after my Lowland leader training last year has different requirements to the mountain skills assessment consolidation that I just did. So there's 20 hikes that I have to do on a variety of terrains, but more geared towards the lowland elements. So this is a lot more of the trails, kind of walking, that I do a lot of anyway. So I have this and I have a few other pieces to do before I can go for my Lowland Leader assessment. But my goal is to do my Lowland Leader assessment this coming autumn. The reason I'm doing the Lowland Leader training block is because it is a shorter qualification program than the Mountain Leader program. And once I have this qualification, I can more affordably take out my own insurance and bring people outside in different capacities, which I'm really, really looking forward to as an option in my future. But as I said, I am also going for my Mountain Leader. So the Mountain Leader program has 2 training blocks. The first day is 2 days, the second day is 3 days. In the UK and up in Tollymore in the north, they do one long, I think it's a 6-block training program, so you can do it all in one 6-day chunk. The pros that I've heard for the Irish variation is that the skills that you learn on ML1, you can then practice ahead of your ML2, and it gives you a chance to do your training in different areas as well, and kind of learn from different people, gain a wider variety of knowledge. I think that's something really key to this whole training program as well, is who you pick as your instructor is really, really key. There are lots of different providers around Ireland, and everyone teaches differently and everyone learns differently. So finding a provider that works for you, I think, is really, really important. I did my Mountain Skills 2 with Cormac of FIA Mountaineering and absolutely loved him. I did my Lowland Leader with Julie Reeves, who is also fantastic. And I just did my Mountain Skills assessment with Ambrose Flynn from hikeandclimb.ie, who I really enjoyed as both an assessor and a teacher in that role. So those are just 3 providers of the many, many providers that are out there, who all teach and share their knowledge in different ways. So I'd recommend doing some research beforehand to see who you think will fit well with you, and who will also push you to learn and help you step out of your comfort zone. The consolidation period then for your ML, for your Mountain Leader, after you've done your 2 training blocks, is even bigger, is much, much bigger than anything else I will have approached at that point. So you have your minimum number of walks, of hikes, of days, mountain days. You're going to have your minimum camping nights. You're going to have a minimum number of hikes that you lead yourself as a guide. You're going to have a minimum number of hikes that you shadow somebody else guiding. So it's a much, much bigger process that can take people years to finish. And I'm really, really excited to start that process. So the training doesn't start until this coming winter, and as soon as there are training dates up, I will be booking onto them. Yeah, I'm excited to bring you on this journey with me. So have you done any mountain training skills programs yourself? Let me know in the comments what your favourite parts were, or what were the kind of biggest takeaways that you took. And yeah, thank you so much to our patrons who support us through Patreon. It helps us keep making videos and working towards our dream of being outside as much as possible. Oh, my foot's gone, oh, it's gone dead. Pins and needles everywhere. Ooh, whoop. He is kind of big.
You got them northern there.
Yeah. We did a bunch of night nav, which was actually really fun. I think through Tough Souls and stuff, Ellie and I have like a really good just ability to find ourselves on a map. And so in night nav, you don't have all the environmental stuff that is like, yes, obviously I'm here because these things are there. So I thought that was really cool, really enjoyable.